Cool. Welcome, guys, back to another episode of Spill the Beans. Today we're going to be talking to the SPL Jacky, mate. Say hello.
Hi.
So
Hello.
we're just going to be having a little chat. I'm going around all the players of Rize, as many as possible. Really, this talk show is just going to be an intro into who Rize are, who we are, and where we all want to go, and just for you guys, the followers, just to get to know who's on Rize team and get to know a bit about them and what their ambitions are and stuff. So Jacky, mate.
Yep.
First of all, who are you, man?
Well, hello, I am Jack, aka SPL Jacky. I'm 17 years old from Scotland, and I am the co-captain of the Rize Prospects team.
Awesome. How long have you been a part of Rize for?
Well, I joined Rize around the start of Black Ops 4. I played with them during the competitive season, but kind of left midway through Modern Warfare. But when Cold War comes out, I shall be back. Alright,
man. It's good. So basically what we're going to do, Jacky, is we're just going to go through some questions, mate. So you can explain stuff like what your role is, what your achievements have been, just stuff like that, alright? So like I said, just so the people can get to know you a little bit more. Alright. Awesome, man. So what is your role within Rize then?
So pretty much my role is to assist you, Apollo, in sorting out our prospect team. I'm the co-captain, so I help you with the main four lineup when it comes to tournaments and kind of leagues and things. I help you with the strategic planning, I suppose. And yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Are you excited?
I'm fucking buzzing, mate, buzzing.
That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. So yeah, like you said, you're a co-captain of the prospects team. You're always helping me, which is good, and it's always nice to have a second view on everything as well. So I'm not making calls on my own, which is always a bonus.
Yep.
So if we're going to talk about, obviously you said you were part of Rize from Black Ops 4 onwards. What kind of achievements have you got from then? So what are your current achievements that you've had up until this point?
Achievements. So we've competed in many leagues, so we've got a bit of solid experience. You know, we've had some top fives in leagues, we've won some tournaments, and on a personal, I would say a semi-successful small streamer. You know, that's a pretty big achievement for me personally. But yeah, and being able to also get the opportunity to help you out and be the co-captain of our team, I think is a pretty huge step forward.
Yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree more. Okay, mate, cool. So, obviously, talking about achievements, obviously you've got quite a few under your belt, you know, especially being a successful small streamer is always a good thing. I know that you've bagged a partnership with Overpowered Clothing. Go hit them up in the description, chuck a link down in the description for you viewers to go and check Overpowered Clothing out. We're actually working with them at the moment to try and bring something else in, so keep your eyes peeled for that. What are you... So we talked about current achievements. Have we talked about what you wanted to achieve?
What I want to achieve.
Yeah. What's your aim in the next in the next league of CDL, or it doesn't have to be CDL related. Bear in mind, it could be related to streaming, related to your YouTube channel, growth in any sort of way, your Instagram, your following. What are you looking to achieve out of all of that?
I think a main dream for me would be to get more well known. Well, not just me, but like our team in general, to get our name kind of out there, to compete in the best of the best leagues, grow together. As you said, we've got brand deals coming in, we've got working on sponsorships, so I think being able to secure all that is definitely something that I want to achieve in the future.
Yeah, that's good, mate. You sound like you got your head screwed on. You know where you want to go. You know how to do it. And I think, you know, it sounds like you've definitely got the determination for success, which is, I think, was something that we all have in Rize. Is we all want the same thing. We've all got that hunger to, and that strive to want to win and become the best. And I think that's going to help everybody.
Yeah, it's all about the mindset.
Exactly, the mindset is key. Mindset is key. So obviously, we're releasing Cold War in 4 days' time, Thursday at midnight. Are you excited about it? I know obviously you're not getting the game straight away. You're going to have to wait a little bit until a little bit later, which is fine. But are you still excited to watch some content, learn some things, and just when you get it, are you excited to grind? You know, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to obviously playing the beta with you guys was amazing. So I think when the full game comes out, it's definitely going to be exciting to get back into competitive play as well. Let's see. I think I'm most excited about the kind of play style of the game. It's a very fast-paced kind of game. It's not as campy as Modern Warfare, which is my kind of play style. So I'm excited to get back into it.
Yeah, of course. I would say it's exactly that. And like you said, the campiness of Modern Warfare was definitely there, with the ability of the opening and closing of the doors. It just changed the whole kind of play style that you had to play a Call of Duty game. I think even going back to Modern Warfare 2, 3, it wasn't as campy as this Modern Warfare for sure, which was a bit of a setback. But now, once we had a bit of grind on the beta, it definitely showed a quicker play style. And earlier when we were talking, you were saying something about the field of view.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to try out the new field of view kind of arrangement for console, because obviously we've kind of just been stuck with fucking standard stuff, whereas now we can kind of put our settings to what we like, and we're not just forced to have the one kind of version, you know.
Yeah, of course, because that was kind of an advantage, especially now they brought cross-play in of different platforms of gaming from Xbox to PC and so on. PC had that advantage of the field of view, I believe, over console, which is true. But didn't always give them an advantage, but it definitely gave them an advantage in the way that they could see around corners, basically see behind them. Which is now that we have that level playing field when it comes to Cold War, which I think myself and you are both quite excited about.
So yeah, especially if it comes to tournaments. I mean, because crossplay tournaments are going to be a big thing, so being able to be on the same level and not have any disadvantages is definitely a plus.
Yeah, 100%. So I know that me and you are excited for this Cold War, and I know the rest of the Rize gang are absolutely buzzing for it. Do you think it's going to be quite a big hit in the community? Do you think everybody who's ever really enjoyed Call of Duty is going to like this Cold War?
I don't think it's not going to be for everyone. There's always complaints with every COD. No COD is ever going to be perfect, but I think for the majority of the part, I think it's going to revive kind of what COD used to be. I definitely think it's going to make old players come back to the game. And kind of revive the series.
Yeah, I completely agree. You know, we've got all the big Call of Duty players out there for these past couple of years. They've been up and down a little bit, haven't they? They haven't really enjoyed it too much. But with the revival of this COD Cold War, which is based between Black Ops 1 and 2, I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And the way the play style works and everything, it's just going to be so, where it's an old game in a way, it's going to be so refreshing to be back in that same scenario of where where a lot of people did begin their Call of Duty career. For sure. So let's talk not Call of Duty, well, not Rize for a second. Obviously, I don't know if you had seen on the news of the CDL, 100 Thieves, Nadeshot, he has just purchased the ownership to the LA Thieves now, which I think personally is a really big thing for them. And you know, especially with everything where he was part of the Green Wall Optic, he's now come away and built 100 Thieves. And you know, for the last CDL season, they didn't really have a name that they were under. They didn't have like a city or an area that they could chuck into their name to feel like they were taking with them. And now that they've bought the rights through Activision to LA Thieves, which they announced, I think it was yesterday or the day before, they've blown up, they're absolutely blown up. So now they're LA Thieves. They're now representing Los Angeles as a place. Do you think that was a good call from them?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's good to give something to people, something to cheer for. Like, you always want to go and cheer on your city. Like, for us, we've got the London Royal Ravens, like the only UK team that are in the CDL. So I think he's giving people the kind of a team to cheer for, because people that liked 100 Thieves didn't really have anyone to kind of get behind.
Yeah, they didn't have a name to follow, did they? You know, they had the 100 Thieves to follow, and that's great, but they didn't represent a location of any sort. Yeah. It's the same, like, you know, esports is essentially turning into as big as a normal sport. You know, you've got football in the UK, so it's like, you know, I support a team because of certain things, and I support them because they play in the area or whatsoever. Mm-hmm. You guys up in Scotland have your own league, and you know it's exactly the same as any kind of sport now, and it has grown to such a big like level that I think to be able to represent certain places.
Thank you to people like Nature who kind of make the names known. Like 100 Thieves, he left the Optic to make his own kind of brand, and that brand has done, like, just that brand alone has done so much for the COD kind of community.
Oh, 100%.
So many new kind of followers have been introduced to it, because obviously 100 Thieves is also a really massive like streaming kind of.
It is this huge streaming community.
Yeah, so you got like people like Courage JD and that. Obviously he was in COD before, but like it's with the millions of views that they have between them. I think 100 Thieves being created and getting into COD has been a huge kind of push for new people to start watching. Leagues and that.
Yeah, awesome. So obviously during that announcement as well, Nadeshot brought out and said that obviously you're going to have your CDL league, which is fantastic, which is LA Thieves. He's also going to be dropping a Warzone team. And a COD mobile team. Now, obviously, Warzone, for obvious reasons, there's competitions and stuff going on in that all the time. It's, you know, it's great that he's given people that opportunity to love Warzone to play in competitions in Warzone, which I think is fantastic. Especially people like Symphony, Jack Courage, and himself. You know, them guys are always grinding Warzone on their streams. But this COD mobile, see, I have very mixed views on it, because I'm like, is it ever going to be as big as the community of console and PC? Do you think the idea of COD Mobile will ever be up there with them?
Nah, honestly, I just think it's kind of like I don't know, it's more of a kind of relaxed version of COD. It isn't Call of Duty, if that makes sense. It's every COD mixed together. So I don't think it would ever be kind of a competitive scene.
No, see, I completely agree. I don't think it ever could fully make it to the competitive side. I know there's obviously little competitions and stuff on it, which are fine.
Yeah, like small tournaments and that, but like every game has that. You know, you get PUBG Mobile, you get Fortnite Mobile, but they're not the same. They're all too, I would say, kind of jam-packed with like weapons and different maps from years worth of CODs. Like you've got guns back from BO1, and it's just, I think it's too much.
I think the quality as well, the quality of the actual game, you know, you're not talking the 60 FPS and stuff on a mobile, and it is very boxy, very cartoony, and I just don't think it's going to head off like the public.
And you get those people that kind of, they use their keyboard and shit when it comes to mobile games.
Yeah.
And there's no way to verify who's playing on which, as far as I'm aware.
Exactly.
So there's nothing stopping someone from picking up a USB and fucking connecting their keyboard and mouse to their phone screens.
And nobody's gonna know.
Yeah. I mean, the only way you would know is obvious reasons of like people shitting on us, you know. But
yeah, of course. Yeah, 100%. So, what about let's go back to Call of Duty for a second. Let's go back to Cold War. What were you? I know obviously earlier you mentioned that us as Rize, we were grinding and grinding out throughout Cold War, and we were putting everything into it. But for you, what was your favourite bits about the beta? You know, have you got a favourite gun that you've been rocking in the beta that you're interested to see will be the same, or is it just the play style that you really gel to and really enjoy? What was your best bits about the beta?
I think the main thing that stood out was obviously the FOV adjustments, being able to have that kind of wider screen. And the guns, I would say, you know, you have the MP5 in Cold War and you have the MP5 in Modern Warfare, and you expect them to be the same thing, but they're completely different. You know, you can tell that it's a different game. It's not like it's kind of the same play style. It's a lot more fast paced, and so the MP5 is kind of like even though it's a favourite to me in Modern Warfare, it's a lot more different in Cold War. So I've been running assault rifles. I was running the the M4, I think.
Yeah, the XM4.
The XM4, that's the one.
Yeah, that's a good assault rifle.
Yeah, I mean that's it's good close range as well, which is what I really like about it. It's kind of, you can use it for both situations.
It's a very fast fire rated gun for sure for an AR. It's got a really quick fire rate.
And although the recoil, I love how they balanced recoil between the alpha and the beta. So obviously the alpha was had some of the most OP guns, like the AK-74U. That thing had no recoil and you could ping people across maps, like on the ship map.
Yeah.
It's got like 6 ships. You can literally shoot from one ship across to the other with no recoil, no troubles, just ping people. But they've sorted that to the point where there's a lot more recoil, not only in that gun, but like the XM4. That's got quite a heavy recoil pattern on it, which I like because it's balanced out. You know, I don't feel like anything is too overpowered yet. As far as that's concerned, the guns that I used, nothing was too like OP. But I'm excited to see kind of what they change about it.
Yeah, me too. There was obviously one big thing that everybody was talking about, especially when it came to the creator class. I think it's called the gunfighter perk. You can now have 8 attachments on your gun instead of 5. Do you think that's a good thing, or do you think that because it's one of the wild cards, isn't it? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a good thing, or do you think they should just stick 5 attachments and play like Call of Duty has always been played?
I think it's a good chance to kind of test the waters on it, see what people do with the attachments. But of course, there's always going to be cons to it. Like you can buff out an entire weapon and just make it a machine. No matter what weapon it is, you can turn it into something godly. So I think that it will work out for like pub games, you know, just standard games. But I think in terms of comp, I think it might get taken out during competitive game modes, because you can literally turn any gun into something monstrous. Yeah, definitely. I think that's definitely going to be something that's going to take some time to adjust, and you know, it's like at the start of any game there's going to be teething issues, but one thing we have learnt from Treyarch is when we ask them something and ask them to change something, and the community get together and ask them to change something, they do change it relatively quickly, which I think was a bit of a downfall of Modern Warfare. Activision didn't listen as much as Treyarch did. At the start of Modern Warfare, yeah, they had the 725 shotgun was like a sniper, and although it was still OP after the first nerf, they still listened. I just don't think that I just feel like they don't listen as much as what they could. You know, it's like they hear what people are saying and they nerf it slowly. So it took like 6 months before the 725 got like fully to the point where it was like kind of non-usable.
Yeah, of course.
Whereas if they had literally just, you know, listened to how much people were complaining about it, instead of nerfing it a little bit, they would have took it down a lot more, and it would have been done a lot quicker, and the game would have been a lot more smoother without all these hiccups. And whereas literally the alpha came out, people complained about, let's say, the AK-74U. They complained about the range and stuff on it, and by the time the beta was out, the gun was fixed, and it was pretty much, I don't want to say useless, it was still a good gun, but you could tell that heavy work has been done on it in terms of damage and range.
Yeah, of course. Completely agree. Well, we pretty much answered my other question I was going to ask you anyway during that was, do you think much would have changed from the beta? I think we kind of nailed that in that segment there anyway. So I won't bother asking that because we pretty much nailed it on the head. You know, of course there's going to be a lot of changes, isn't there, no matter what, you know. From the alpha to the beta, the difference just in that small gap was phenomenal, and astronomical. And then to go from
work on its spawns.
Yeah, 100%. So, but that comes with time in any game, I believe. Anyway, mate. You know, spawns of they can play it as much as they want in their offices while designing the game, but depending on where people are in certain scenarios, depends where you spawn, and it's going to be
I think
different.
Spawns are one of the most fiddly things to mess around with because you can either make them. I don't think anyone's ever going to be fully happy with spawns. Let's be honest. No matter how much they work on it, there will always be something.
Yeah, exactly. But that's like with any game, you know, it's so hard, especially when you have a 3-lane map-based game, which is a lot of Call of Duty, Black Ops kind of side of it. You know, that there's always going to be that issue with spawns, but I think that definitely, like you said, it comes over time. That's going to be little touches up here and there, changing the spawns around a little bit, and the only ways to get better with the spawns is changing them up, and they'll get it perfect one day, but like you said, there's always going to be someone that's not happy with it anyway. So okay,
I think that's one of the main problems with COD is because one person will complain, and then that starts a train. Like, it will be something that no one notices, but as soon as someone points it out, like, it could be something tiny, and then people, because so many people complain about it, everyone jumps on the train of either calling the game shit or calling it broken, and especially if it's like a big streamer or something, if they point out something minuscule, it's going to get blown out of proportion, and then the devs will try and fix it, and then make it even worse, and then more people complain. So I think it just, I think there's a train that leads up to fixing things like spawns and guns.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a lose-lose situation sometimes, especially for the creators, and I do feel for them now and then, because like you said, you get these hype trains up here for no reason about something so small, and it's like, well, actually that's down to your ability at the game that you keep getting stuck in that spawn trap. That's not always down to.
And then because they complain about it, it'll get changed, but then they'll be happy, but the people that never complained about it will obviously be a bit kind of I don't know, frustrated maybe.
Yeah.
So obviously they've worked hard to kind of, let's say, learn the spawns. Yeah, if they learn the spawns and then people are complaining about it, so they kind of get switched up a little bit. They've wasted the time, and then they start complaining about it as well, saying that they shouldn't have switched it, and then devs are kind of in the cycle of, well, who do you listen to? There's two groups of people against each other right now, so you need to pick like kind of what to do, and then they try and balance it out, and then it just kind of makes more problems, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Right, let's move on. So I got two more questions for you, mate. And the first one is, have you got any worries about the future of the Call of Duty League? You know, do you think one day it's kind of just going to drop and that's going to be it, or do you think it's going to be something that, as long as the games keep coming out and they're getting better, do you think it's going to carry on this hype behind Call of Duty?
I think something drastic will change. They'll need to switch up before the hype dies down, but I think if the kind of like competitive leagues, if competitive leagues start seeing a kind of drop in people watching or people playing in them, competing in tournaments, I think they'll change up maybe some kind of rules or some kind of game modes or something, like like you said earlier with Ghosts and that, because that was a bad game. Well, to most people it was a bad game. People stopped playing it, and so the kind of hype behind the Call of Duty League died down. I think it takes like something to revive it. So as long as they keep adding and keep improving games, I think it will kind of stay afloat. I don't think COD will ever get to the point where it's dying out. I think the Call of Duty League will always be a kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree. So talking about obviously the future of COD, I just thought this off the top of my head, but obviously now we've got to a point that Black Ops Cold War's come out, that they're starting to remaster Call of Duties. Do you think that it's kind of maybe a worry that they've run out of ideas now? You know, 'cause especially after we went from boots on the ground to jumping about like bloody aliens to then boots on the ground again because people wanted it. Do you think that there might be a possible worry that Activision or Treyarch are running out of ideas of future Call of Duties, or do you reckon they've got loads in the bank and they're just popping one out every now and then?
I don't think they're running out of ideas. I think that they're coming up with ideas, but they're getting shut down by feedback. Like the boosting, like the exosuits and all that. I personally loved it. I thought it was great. Obviously, I prefer boots on the ground, but I thought it was great. I didn't see why everyone was complaining about it. So I think that they've had kind of more of those games in store, but they've just been too scared to release it because of the negative feedback. So I think that they've got I think they have ideas in mind. I just think that they're kind of holding off on releasing them because of the feedback from the community.
Yeah, 100%.
So
I definitely think we should have like another exoskeleton one for sure. I think it was good fun.
100%. I think if it's done right, it could be one of the best kind of games to play, because it brings a whole new kind of play style. You know, you've got you not only need to watch what's in front of you, but like kind of above you or what's kind of behind you and all that. It takes more.
I think it takes more skill to play.
100%.
You've got a lot more things to think about.
All these kind of moves, I guess. So you could be like, you know, the combination of running on walls and double jumping and all that. I think if you mastered that, it could be you could be one of the best at the games. Whereas boots on the ground is kind of just the only advantage you've really got on boots on the ground is kind of holding positions like crossovers or slide cancelling.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think there's a lot more controls and a lot more kind of strategy goes into actual games.
Yeah, completely agree. It's much more challenging, and the best of the best only make it then. Do you know what I mean? So when it does come down to the big games, it's more entertaining because you've got essentially the best players in the world competing.
I think it's a lot more fast-paced as well. Like I love fast-paced games. I like to fucking run around at million miles per hour, running and gunning with an SMG. I love that kind of playstyle. So you've kind of got the double jumps and the slide, and when you combine all that and you're running rampant around, like say a hardpoint map, and you're just kind of running around shooting people. That's my kind of game. I love it. So I love the whole exosuit idea. I think they definitely should at some point in the future bring one back out.
Oh mate, I could not agree more. Well mate, last question, and that is, have you enjoyed being on the second episode of Spill the Beans?
Yeah man, of course.
Yeah?
I think it's a great opportunity to kind of give people not only our personal mindset, but like as a team, what we kind of want to achieve and what we want to accomplish in upcoming CODs, and what we expect from each other, what we expect from games and developers and all that. Yeah,
100%. Well, thank you for being on it, mate. I really appreciate taking some time out of your day to come and join me just for a little chat about the future of Call of Duty and where we're going, and introducing yourself and letting everybody know who you are, mate, and what you do. I've enjoyed it as always, and we will get the team together and do maybe a big one time, and see where it goes from there. But yeah, thank you very much, mate. Awesome. Right, let's go. We're now gonna go play some Call of Duty. So for anyone that's watching, please hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, comment below on who you want to see next. I'll be releasing this a little bit later this afternoon. So yeah, thanks again, Jacky, and I'll speak to you soon. Hi guys, just want to quickly say thank you so much for tuning in to Spill the Beans. I will definitely catch you in the next one, and if you have any recommendations for who to chat to next, chuck it down in the comments below. Thank you.